What's going on, everyone? It's time for another action natural disaster film review. Today we're going to talk about a film called Into the Storm. Released by New Line Cinema August 8th, 2014. It was written by John Sweetnam and produced by Todd Gardner and directed by Stephen Quayle, who did films like Final Destination 5, the worst one, Renegades, Aliens of the Deep, and Superfire. So this had a budget of $50 million and it sure as hell didn't look like it. So Into the Storm follows a group of storm chasers who go and chase these mega tornado storms that just so happen to be sending on the small town they live in. And when they get there, there's mega twisters start forming and causing mass destruction. And it's them to help save some naive high school vloggers that get themselves caught into it. And in the end, they all get caught up in the storm and have to work together and try to survive it, ride it out. Overall, this is your typical disaster movie. This is basically a knockoff of Twister. It's but done shittier. The acting in this is a little terrible. It's not that good. And the cinematography is okay and stuff. And yeah, the music was cheesy as hell in some scenes and stuff. I don't know what was going on with that. But this movie is so weird because the setup, it felt like a found footage film for a bit, and then it would just go normal cinematography, and then it looks like it's a found footage movie again. It was so disorienting and stuff doing that. The CGI effects in it were actually not too bad. I thought it was all right. It's a step up from like the Asylum type of stuff, like you see on the Sci-Fi Channel. It's obviously not as good as like Jurassic Park and stuff like that, but still, it does have some pretty cool spots. But obviously, a lot of this scientists disproved before that it would never happen, so it's there for just cinema movie sake. But still, it still has some interesting disaster stuff. But the characters, there's no character development in this movie whatsoever. They're all annoying. I wanted them all to die, and this is a PG-13 movie, so none of them's going to die. So I was really disappointed with that. It should have been a lot more destruction instead of the family drama and stuff like friend drama and stuff that they focused on, which kind of brings the movie way down. It was very slow and dull. I almost dozed off like 4 times watching this, and it was like midday. So, yeah, Into the Storm was all right, I guess. It has some pretty cool disaster moments in it, but it's bogged down so much by all this pointless drama that doesn't need to be in there because you don't give a shit about these people at all, and they just don't work well together, and it was just quickly patched together. Now, if this came out, like when Twister came out, it probably would have did better and stuff, but coming out in 2014, we had like 2012 was out, and it's a lot better than this. That movie's actually pretty good though too. So, yeah, this was just a mindless mess, and it wasn't really interesting for the most part. Just had some cool natural disaster scenes that are predictable and everything. There wasn't much to this. So, Into the Storm gets a 1.5 for me. It was a little hard to sit through. Yeah, if you want to check it out, it is on Netflix right now, so you can check it out there. It is better than Geostorm, though, I gotta say. Yeah, but also make sure you check out my Instagram. It's linked down below. So I post clips of films I'm going to review in the future on my stories. Put the film title down below, and I also put my film title in there, and my fun factor history thing in there as well. Also, my Letterbox down below, Derek Reviews. That's where I post first star rating after watching the films, and my Twitch down below at Reviews_Derek. So follow me on those platforms. Stay with this channel. Like this video, share some more people aware. But comment your opinions of the film down below if you have any. If you have any films or film franchises in any genre and on any streaming service that you want to hear my opinions on in the future, comment those down below too. I'll try my best to get to them as soon as I can, and if I can find them. And don't forget to subscribe. Hope you find some weird chicken all day. Probably not thought checking out together. And also, so you hear my opinions on popular films that have come out, classic films, and reviews on other things as well. Don't forget to ring that bell because we're going to do another like fantasy adventure natural disaster-ish type of film called Waterworld in the next review, so make sure you tune in for that. And yeah, watch out for all the stupid scientists driving around into tornadoes, putting their lives in danger and everyone else's lives in danger. And I guess I'll see you all in the next one. The stupid people are so naive. Till then, cheers.